Okay, I'm going to try and stay linear again this time. The next bit, so in our linear search, we stated that Conker just defeated the gargoyle and is about to enter into the hub world. And the door to the hub world is lined with sunflowers. You see these little dancing sunflowers by the entrance. I've tried finding other instances of this particular type of dancing sunflower in front of a door. I don't think I found any. I have a feeling there might be, but I think this is maybe mainly the one instance of sunflowers leading up to a door. And it's interesting because in Conker's 12 Tales, the previous game this is based on, this seems to have been a theme, or at least something that marketing was based around. I suppose it was more of a theme in that game, because at the conference of E3, I think in the 90s, there was a conference, there was a moment when those sunflowers were used as a prop on set, I guess, at the conference for people to walk around and see. And you can see that there's sunflowers lining like a door. I think it's a green door that you would then enter. I'll check whether that's like what kind of door that is in the game. But it's interesting to me because I've taken a screenshot of this and just, blocked the actual person who's in front of it, just because I just want to focus on the sunflowers. Like these these sunflowers I just found in 12 Tales, the footage we have of the game. You can see this sort of sunflower seems to be spread throughout the place, so it's not unique to one particular place. But what this promotional thing is recreating is the entrance to the windmill, as far as I can see, which has a green door, this sort of green door with this type of sunflower in front of it dancing. So the sunflower is dancing in front of this green door that accesses the windmill. That's interesting because then it means that the windmill, just for a second, let's just imagine, like the windmill is what you're accessing when you're entering through this passageway fronted by the sunflowers. The sunflowers are like, in this case, what is standing in front of the door to the windmill, directly the inside of the windmill. And I was thinking, what is a sunflower, or what can we say about a sunflower exactly? And here in the Wikipedia page, you can see, if you scroll down, that there is this theme of following the sun. Now, apparently that's a misconception. They don't follow the sun once they're grown, but I think that when they're still young, when they're still like buds, they do exhibit a following of the sun. So the flower itself is following the sun as it moves. And this takes us back to our previous screenshot section, which is Conker is about to enter into this world. And this world is kind of headed, the leader to this entrance is the sunflower. And the sunflower is something that I think represents, in some way, you could say, following the sun. Something that follows the sun, or that at least is awake as the sun is awake. Right? Later on in the game, to be non-linear for a second again, you encounter poppies. The poppy flower, I think, right, appears in the nighttime section, fronting the entrance to one of the areas into the main hub. I think, in fact, the way you enter into the main hub in the nighttime section, or one of the doors, is lined with poppies, which has, I think, in the Great Britain, connotations with the Great War. So there's this feeling of like war, which is what we're confronting in the second part of the game, and that being associated to nighttime and therefore kind of death. Night as something dark and death laden or something, and so that flower seems to represent death or darkness, nighttime, in that way, in the same way that now the sunflower seems to represent this chirpy, jovial aliveness and being the sun and following the sun in some way. And so that's what we're doing, right? We're following the sun from dawn till dusk. We begin and, we go to the end. It almost feels to me like Conker, who's red, a red squirrel, could be red like fire or like the sun, in a sense, like a sun symbol, who is during the day up in the sky, like the sun usually is in mythology, and then at night Conker descends down into the earth, into the earth, like the sun would as well in mythology, sort of going down into the depths and then rising back up, so that it's this following this path of the sun, the way that a sunflower would as well, looking at the sun throughout its whole entire phases, from one side of the phase, to the other, doing the whole thing.